What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today we're going to be taking a look at some new arrivals at Blade HQ. I've done this many times in the past. My audience seems to really enjoy it, and I like doing it, and I do it anyway. I like to scroll through some of my favorite retailers and just see what's new to inform myself, and because I run a YouTube channel, help inform the people who don't do this regularly. A lot of you might be thinking, why would I need to watch an entire video of this? I could just go look for myself. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You can. In fact, I'll make it easy on you. There will be a link right down at the top of the description that brings you to this exact page so you can scroll through for yourself. If you'd like to hear my commentary on some of this stuff and the stuff that I actually find interesting, then stick around. I'm just gonna go through and take a look at some stuff. I actually did this video once, and then Blade HQ came out with some more stuff, so I'm redoing it. I'm doing this one day in advance, though, so if you're, gonna watch the whole video, either way, I'd still click on it and find out if anything else got released within the 24 hours before you're seeing this video. Thank you so much to my generous patrons for supporting me right now. If you'd like to get your hands on some cool stickers and some other benefits, there will, of course, be a link right down in the description. Your support would mean the world to me. And please follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. Anything that I find extra interesting, you can bet there will be an individual link for right down also in the description, so you can click right to it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. By the way, I want to make sure that everybody knows I'm about to hit 30,000 subscribers, and you bet I've got a ton of knives to give away. There's going to be an announcement video showing the knives that I'm going to give away probably next Saturday, and then the live stream where I actually give the items away, I'm going to be doing that live. That's going to be that Saturday night. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you are subscribed, be ready for that video. It's coming. Victorinox Classic SD Swiss Army knife. This is one of the ones that, this is in the Desert Warrior skin. Kind of like what they did with the Boker Kalashnikov. I mean, it's 20 bucks. It's kind of stupid, but it's also kind of neat. If you want an SD Classic with sprinkles on it, there you go. 20 bucks, it's coming. It's not quite here yet, but you guys can get it. This is a big one here. The satin one's okay. I'm going to click on the black one. I'm kind of interested in I don't know what it is about black blades here recently, but I just kind of like them. So yeah, the bug out was begging to be in 20CV or have a version of it in 20CV. I don't think you can, I mean, everybody knows the bug out's on the custom shop now, so you can build your own in 20CV. I think this one is exclusive, or it is in a particular setup, much like how the Benchmade Griptilian has its own specific 20CV production variant outside of the custom shop. I think this is largely the same thing. You get green studs, probably green standoffs. It's in gray G10, even though it's kind of looking like cake batter. I think it's just light gray G10. 20CV is an excellent steel for this. The geometry, it's ultra thin. It's ultra thin behind the edge. Yeah, 20CV being a steel that will hold an edge for a long time and is stainless, considering this is just going to be used for generic EDC. This is not a hard use knife, no matter what some people might claim. Yeah, I'm going to use it for generic EDC. I'm not going to try to baton a piece of wood in half with this knife, right? 20CV being a steel that's not ultra preferable, in my experience with hard use, makes perfect sense on this knife. The thing that's kind of, the price, jeez Louise, $212. I mean, if you really, really like the bug out, you're not going to care, right? It depends on where your value system is. I'm just thinking about the standard bug out versus this, and then comparing it with a standard Griptilian versus the 20CV Griptilian. There's about $30 worth of mystery going into this knife, but Benchmade does have an excellent warranty. It's made in the United States, and this surely will be the ultimate EDC for a lot of people. For anybody concerned with weight, the difference between this and the standard bug out in Grivery is literally less than 1/4 of an ounce, which is not something that you're going to be able to notice unless you are superhuman. But even if you can, man, talk about a worthless superpower. Sorry, I'm making myself laugh here. Yeah, 20CV bug out, definitely cool. This was one of the other ones that popped up after I did the video the first time, the Kaiser Vanguard Sheepdog XL in my Carta. I have one of these. It's huge, it's ridiculous, but it's awesome, and you can get it for $100. It comes in a 154 cm. Yeah, this is cool. If you want like a novelty large knife and you don't want to fork over hundreds of dollars for a Medford, this will definitely scratch that edge. And I mean, I gotta say, the blue pivot collar with the brown micarta, kind of digging that. I'm not normally into the brown micarta, but yeah, that looks kind of nice. Let's see here. Yeah, and then we've got the standard Kaiser Vanguard Sheepdog, the one that's a little bit smaller. If you're actually going to EDC this and you still want a full-size knife, this is probably the one to go with. This is the best looking setup for these. 7.75 inches overall, 3.25 inches of cutting edge. It's in CTS BD1, which is different than CTS BD1. I'm sorry, it's in CTS BD1N, which is different than CTS BD1. Yeah, definitely. In fact, I really want to get my hands on one of these just to show it on the channel. This is awesome. These will undoubtedly go fast. Part of the reason why I wanted to do this video again. I'm so sorry if you're checking this link and some of these are sold out. Remember, it's going to be 24 hours before you guys actually see this. A couple other options there. Natural micarta, black blade, tumbled with natural, tumbled with black, tumbled with green, right? There's a whole bunch of different options. Yeah, these went fast the first time. I'm going to guess they'll go fast again. Moving on here, that weird dagger fixed blade, the Spyderco nightstick. I think that's only sharp on one side. Yeah, that looks like a false edge on the other side. It is nice, though. It is interesting. I brought that up a long time ago on the coming soon video, or one of the coming soon videos that I did, and it finally has arrived. So, Real Steel S5 Metamorph. I remember that being a thing a while ago. I don't know if I'm personally super interested in that. Real Steel Crusader. It's neat. It's interesting how they do the thumb stud. The Real Steel Ippon liner lock. It's kind of a nice little fancy gentleman's tactical letter opener, right? This was one of the ones that I... wait, no, that's not the one. There was a different one. More Metamorphs. If you're looking for XM18 3.5-inch skinny sheep's foot hardware, which, believe it or not, is more specific than even the difference between the skinny hardware and the standard hardware for an XM 3.5-inch, XM18 3.5-inch, you'll notice that there are 6 screws versus 3 screws. Normally, XM18s, whether it's skinny or not, only have 3 screws, and then there are Chicago ends. This is a lot more like the Eclipse setup, but it's different yet. If you have specifically a skinny sheep's foot XM18 3.5-inch, this is the hardware that you'll need for your knife. So if you've wanted tumbled bronze, matte bronze, well, they call it battle bronze and bronze, or battle blue and blue, they have all that hardware right now. So you guys can pick that up if you want to. This is the actual Sheepdog custom that the Vanguard series is based on. Actually, this is the maker who did the collaboration with Kaiser. So yeah, if you want one in full-time Mascus and you want the real deal, there is one available. That's neat. I'm sure somebody will pick that up. I mean, it's too cool of a knife. I mean, yeah, I know not a lot of people are beating down doors to pay $750 for a knife, but I can guarantee you that knife will get picked up. So I just wanted to highlight it there. Bestech, doing a lot of stuff that really isn't aesthetically my thing. A lot of their knives look like feathers right now. I'm sure that's gonna, you know, tickle somebody's fancy, but it's just not, it's not getting after mine. It is neat that you're getting carbon fiber, and like this one here's $110, 14C28N. That's not a terrible steal for the price, considering what else you're getting. Bearings, you're getting carbon fiber. Looks like probably steel liners underneath. Yeah, that's kind of, is that carbon fiber? Let's find out here. It doesn't say. It looks like carbon. Yeah, it looks like, this looks like carbon fiber. For a second there, I thought maybe that's G10, but that's all right. $110, not a bad price, I think, for what you're getting. Of course, I haven't handled it though, so I'm just guessing based on all of the Bestechs that I've handled. They've all been really high quality. So there's a whole bunch of lefty small and large Sebenza 31. So if you're left-handed, you've been looking for some of this wild stuff. Damascus, micarta, right? Some of the wood. Yeah, they've got that stuff right now. Kaiser. Oh wait, no, this one right here. Yeah, this is a nice standard setup of, in my opinion, the very best automatic knife, the very best side-opening automatic knife that exists, and that's the collaboration Strider and ProTech SNG Auto. My goodness, is this an amazing knife, and it's one of the only side-opening automatic knives that I would actually label as, I mean, I'll say hard use, but what I mean is I think it's the way that it's set up with the external stops. I think, and just how, you know, the blade geometry and the robustness in the handle and the extra, you know, hand position given the forward choil. I think this one is really set up for some serious versatility. If you really want to use an automatic knife like outside and really, you know, bear down on it and use it for like wood processing, rubber processing, rope, cardboard, things like that for extended periods of time. Speaking from experience, this knife is wonderful. It's mainly the Strider Ergos, obviously, that make it that great. But seriously, I mean, you've got external stops here, mitigating pressure away from the pivot if you're going to do some of those pull and not really pry cuts, but those odd angle cuts. I think that is really, really, really good. And it comes in my favorite steel, 154cm / CPM 154. They're almost exactly the same thing, even considering one is powder and one isn't. The grain structure in 154cm is very fine. Even in the ingot form is very, very fine. So wonderful, wonderful knife. And this is a nice plain setup with looks like kind of a blast. No, it says stonewash finish, and then you've got the black aluminum. So that's going to speak to a lot of people for sure. $209, made in America, 100%. Go with ProTech. I am a huge ProTech fanboy, if you can't tell. Kaiser Lundquist Feist in micarta. This one right here is easily my favorite. That is sharp looking. Pun intended. CPM S35VN. And then you get the micarta, and you get the nice, fancy looking sort of pill body. That's nice. I like this. People are going to pick these up. They're nice. Did a review on the titanium one, honestly. Considering the one that I handled was an exposed frame lock, I would much prefer this one. There's not a whole lot of room to put your hands or brace your fingers on the frame, so keeping your fingers off the lock bar and keeping that pressure from making it difficult to open is not a worry on this guy because the liner lock is not exposed. It's covered by micarta. So there you go. Really like that. This knife, I just reviewed it. You guys haven't seen it yet. It's in limbo on YouTube waiting to be uploaded. This is a really good knife. I loved, honestly, Concept is coming in hot. Like, they came out of the gate swinging with some really good designs. I reviewed the Agent, I reviewed the Sprite, the Cryo, and this is the Sprite, by the way, and the Shard. The Shard was absolutely excellent. So was the Cryo, and this one's right up there with that guy. Really cool. I love the green micarta inlays. Not a huge fan of the recurve, but honestly, the recurve is even less aggressive than it seems. I think the shadow here is making this seem really excessive, but it's not. 3.5, it's the blade length is literally over 3.5 inches a little bit, and you get all of that in cutting edge. Large amount of room on the handle. I mean, it's I think it's like 4 ounces. That is a really good knife for $200, 100%. There's the Agent. I'm not big into this spiderweb milling. I like this plain one. Mine wasn't the Japanese Tanto like this guy, but if I was gonna pick this knife up, yeah, that's my cup of tea. I like that plain Jane monochromatic look. This one's a little bit more robust. S35VN in titanium. The titanium is contoured, and $180 is not a bad price for what you're getting. Concept brings a little bit more measurable fit and finish quality to the table. Functionally, between Kaiser and Concept, honestly, I mean, the reason I'm comparing is because a lot of the lead designers that used to work for Kaiser now are Concept collectively. Functionally, yeah, Kaiser knives are great, but the extra polishing is much more present on a Concept. And you'll hear that echoed amidst a lot of reviewers right now, for sure. It's not just me saying that. Sebenz's, ooh, these are nice. Yeah, if you like the idea of the Agent, but you don't want that, you want some color to break it up, there you go. I wonder if this is tumbled. That would be great if it was tumbled. It's probably satin. Yeah, finish the satin. Ooh, I really want your tumbled finish. The tumbled finish on the Sprite looks great. Concept. This knife. Tumbled finish. This black DLC frame and the bronze hardware. Great idea. Or at least the bronze pivot. That looks really, really nice. I think people, really like that. $180, still the same. Moving on here. More Microtechs. We've seen those. Interesting Lebrun Coyote. Or Coyote, however you like to say that, from Riot. Interesting. A little lower price than what you see generally from Riot. Why is Riot more expensive than other Chinese production brands sporting the same materials? Carbon fiber, titanium, M390. Much like the difference in fit and finish between Concept and Kaiser, right? Or We versus Kaiser. Riot takes it to another level. If you've never handled a Riot, there's no way to tell, right? If your value system is based entirely on the materials they're using, That's fine, but you're missing out on some serious quality. Riot is absolutely a step above those a lot of those other high-end Chinese production brands, and they're all great. But man, is it apparent? Riot is, listen, people have different reservations about where knives are made, and it's fine. We're all free-thinking individuals, and it's our money. We can spend it how we want, right? Most of my purchases are US-based knives, and that's mainly because of the quality that I get with them. I'm happy to pay, for example, $425 for a Hinder because I really enjoy the quality I get, and I definitely enjoy the fact that the knife is made in the United States. However, I will fork over about the same amount of money for a Riot. A lot of the designers they work with, you guys have to remember, are based in the United States, so some of that money does come back to the U.S., but you are, in terms of raw quality, yeah, they are some heavy competitors in the $300 to $700 range for sure. So, depending on how you think about that, if you're just seeking quality and Riot has designs that you like, yeah, they're worth checking out. Tons of Willamette Cutlery whippersnappers, right? Same price range that I was just talking about, but all US made. And these are semi-custom or in some cases full custom knives. In particular, the Wharncliffe version of this, which is what you're seeing here. Here's an example of, no, I'm sorry. This is Sheepsfoot and this is Wharncliffe, even though they have this one labeled as Wharncliffe. The bigger, wider blades are Sheepsfoot. I like the Sheepsfoot a lot because it comes down to a little bit of a thinner edge. However, your profile is a little bit slimmer with this guy once it's folded up, so it depends on what you like. This one right here, in particular, is very beautiful. CPM 20 CV, this is a front flipper running on bearings. We've got blue anodized accents, and then the whole thing is this cracked ice finish, so they call it frosty. That's really cool. It's almost like this thing was carved from a glacier. That is really not, man, that is really tempting personally. This is a great EDC knife, excellent fidget factor, very smooth, very high quality. You get all the dressings that you'd expect from a super high-end modern titanium frame lock. Right, you can do the reverse flick on this guy. Thumb hole is very easily accessible. It's incredibly ergonomic with this large forward choil there. And it still manages to be compact at 6.875 inches overall and a 2.75 inch cutting edge, which is more than enough cutting edge to do any EDC task you could imagine. Unless your EDC tasks involve chopping pineapples in half, in which case I would not recommend this knife. Moving on here, that's an interesting one. Look at that inlay. Oh my goodness. Let's take a look here. What is that? Excuse me. Kansas Internet requiring coal to be shoveled in to my engine here. Okay, I'm sure it looks great, but we're gonna have to scoot back. Let's see if we can click on it again. Maybe it'll load. Nope, maybe it's a problem with the site. All right, well, if you want to take a look at that one, I'll make sure that the links go to it. There's a, it's like a marble or camo G10, or I think we brought this one up in another video. What is the material made out of here? Well, the Damascus is Chad Nichols Virus stainless Damascus, so that's cool. And then I have no idea what the handle material is. It's either marble or multi-layer G10 or multi-layer micarta, but there you go. That's an expensive one at $639, but I'm sure somebody will find that interesting. There's some new TR3s with the Army Medallion. I saw that one a while back. The TR3 is excellent. These have always been intriguing to me. I remember watching Terra Fanatic back in the day when I was really... well, I still watch Jim Skelton, but and I still watch Terra Fanatic, honestly, but when I was almost exclusively watching Terra Fanatic, Jim Skelton, and Nut and Fancy a long time ago, these popped up. And they're massively overbuilt, crazy big old honking things. Very expensive. This is obviously a semi-custom or full custom knife. But yeah, it looks kind of interesting if you're looking to pick up a knife in that price range. I don't know. I've always been intrigued by those. Let's see here. Moving on. Some more mini mastodon. Sorry, I almost called it bull mastiff. And then we've got... Did I miss the purple? Yeah, there was one that I missed. Hang on. The purple Elementum, I think, was maybe on this page. Yes, purple Elementum. The Elementum, obviously one of the best budget knives you can get right now. If you're big into purple, like Slicey Dicey, then you can definitely pick that one up. That's pretty cool. I don't think purple's a bad color. I actually kind of like purple anodized titanium, personally. Moving on here, not big on the Wyvern, sorry. This knife, the Gava, excellent. A lot of people compared it to, it almost looks like a mini Sleesh Bowie from Spyderco. Yeah, it kind of does look like that. It feels very different in hand, but this is an excellent knife. I mean, I got a review on this. I can't remember if it's up or not, but yeah, very, very cool. The Ferrum Forge Minix, also a great knife. Unfortunately, suggestive body shape. We will move on from that, but it is a good knife if you want to pick that up. Let's see here. What was the last one? I know you guys really want me to review more traditionals, or some of you do, but the truth is the only traditional knives that I'm really into are like Great Eastern Cutlery number 15s, and those are really hard to get a hold of. I'm not really into case knives. I've kind of moved on. I like modern one-hand manipulation folding knives, and I'm just, that's kind of my thing. Moving on. What was it that I saw? Oh, there's more. These are the smaller ones, the Gremlin. And the reason I want to highlight them is because they have some different variants. The Sprite does not have the variances in color of frame and material in the inlay, or color of material in the inlay. The Sprite is a smaller version at 6.85 inches overall, 2.91 inches of blade, S35VN in titanium, but in this case, we have DLC titanium with carbon fiber inlays. So if you like the idea of a smaller one and you're not really into the green micarta thing, then you can pick one of these up. Or they have some other interesting stuff. This is a jungle carbon fiber, which looks like green something or other mixed with carbon fiber. And then there's the standard. It's just the same thing as the Sprite, but smaller. XM24 sheep's foot knives. There's a few of those still hovering around. Once those are gone, they will be gone for a long time. I can almost guarantee it. I don't work for Hinderer Knives. I'm just saying, being a Hinderer nut and paying attention to every last little tiny thing that Hinderer Knives releases, if you're on the fence about those, pick one up while you can, because when they're gone, they'll be gone for a while. Let's see here. What was the last thing? I think we're getting back into some of the stuff that I looked at in the last video. Definitely pick up the micarta Feldspar. What an excellent knife. Holy moly. Really, really good. Is that about it? Oh no, the cryos. Yeah, the different cryos. So I just reviewed the micarta cryo, which I don't think is listed here. I don't know if it's available yet, but that review is coming. These are D2, so it's like a budget cryo. They have the Concept has the upper end one, the S35VN and titanium one. It's an excellent design, so surely people will appreciate it at a more budget price, considering the standard cryo is somewhere around $200. 68 bucks for carbon fiber and D2. Here's the titanium one. Oh, it looks like, does that say mini cryo? Okay, so titanium mini cryo. This is mini. Even though it's listed at 3.9, that's an error there if it is the mini. And then they've got the standard one here. So you can see the price differences between all these two. It looks like the titanium mini's coming in at around 150, 160 bucks, maybe 170 bucks, depending on what it is. The large cryo and titanium will come in around 200. And then your budget variants will come in probably between $55 and $70, something like that. So there you go. Those are great. Limited edition wood textured titanium shard. I'm sure somebody will be interested in that. More examples of why I'm not really digging some Best Deck designs right now, but you know, they come out with a lot of stuff, so maybe there'll be new stuff to look at in the future. Where are we at here? This is the last one I wanted to point out. The Dagger Knives Parrot. Never heard of this. It does look kind of interesting, though, considering that it is a button lock. It's wild in the profile. It's wild in the blade. I have no idea what their quality's like. The other interesting factor is that it's 10.75 inches overall. 95 bucks, D2, and what I'm thinking is probably aircraft aluminum that's been Type 3 hardcoat anodized red. Yeah, it's intriguing. Very odd. It's like a future... It's like a folding dinner knife from the future is kind of what it looks like to me. I'm sure somebody will find that mildly intriguing at the very least. Are we at about the end here? Yeah, I think so. I think we're about at the end. So yeah, guys, like I said, the stuff that I found interesting will be highlighted. This was the main stuff that I wanted to point out, the bug outs and the micarta Vanguard Sheepdog. 20 CV bug out and Vanguard micarta Sheepdog XL and standard size. Those were definitely ones that I pointed out or wanted to point out. So like I said, you can check out links for this exact page or the link for this exact page right at the top of the description, and then individual links for the knives that I highlighted or that really that I think are really, really interesting also down in the description. If you use my links, it does benefit my channel, so I'd appreciate that. But if not, that's okay too. Like I said, 30K giveaway is coming up. The actual video listing the knives that I'll be giving away will be coming up next week. So check the date on this video. Be watching for that. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And then the live stream event where I give the knives away live will also be next Saturday at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. That's going to be pretty much it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.